Welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 35 of the show with no name. I'm your humble host, Nick, and today we're going to be exploring another abandoned farmhouse out here in the desert. And I like to call this house Respect House. Now you're probably wondering why I'm starting this video off with this no trespassing sign. It's because it brings up a lot of things that I've been wanting to talk about in this channel as it pertains to these old abandoned farmhouses. There's a lot of vandals that have been coming out to these properties lately and tagging them and breaking windows and whatnot. And so a lot of these old farmers out here that own these properties shun on people coming out here anymore, as you can see with the no trespassing signs and whatnot. And it's sad that things have gotten to this point, but I understand completely where these farmers are coming from trying to protect these properties. And I also feel a similar way because I have over the years become attached to these houses as well. And it pains me every time I see that one of them has been tagged or a new window's been broken or, so on and so forth. But I like to see myself as somebody different from those vandals, and I don't think the farmers would mind me being out to these places if they were able to talk to me for a minute and understand my intentions when it comes to these houses. Because when I venture out to these areas, I have certain codes and rules that I follow myself. The first rule being don't take anything from these houses or graveyards, which I don't. And the second rule being don't destroy anything, which I haven't. And those are two rules that I've followed very closely since the beginning of this project that I've been working on. And also, if you haven't noticed, that's why I come up with random names for these houses and I never give out their locations, because I too don't want people discovering a lot of these places and coming out here and destroying them. I don't bring any metal detectors with me or anything of the sort. My whole mission as it pertains to these houses is to document this history before it's completely wiped away. As I see more and more people moving into Washington State, I can't help but think a lot of the old pioneer history of this area is going to be gone someday. And I feel that it's somebody's responsibility out there to help preserve this history as best as possible. And that's why I do what I do, because I have a lot of respect and admiration for these pioneers that came out here and founded this area and built this great place that we call home now. And I know they went through a lot back in the day, and I appreciate that and I respect that. So that's what this is about. And so I hope the farmers don't get too mad at me that I broke the rules a little bit and ignored their no trespassing signs, because I understand they don't want people in here, and it makes sense. Like I said, I just hope that they see me a little differently than the average Joe walking around because of my intentions. This was an interesting house out here because it's way out, kind of out there on its own. You have to walk on a long dirt road to get there, and nothing was paved around here, and just a really cool, desolate house. I bet you the people that lived here enjoyed a lot of peace and quiet back in the day. As you can notice right away as well, this house has its own unique random layout, just like every other house, which makes each one of them so special. This one's definitely starting to decay though, as you can see. I didn't want to spend too much time in this room because there's definitely mold and rot going on here. As you can see, the roof and ceiling has seen better days. The leaks in the roof finally soaked up all the ceiling boards and made them fall. So now all the water's just going right into the room. As usual, the temperature is pretty harsh out here on these desert plateaus, especially in the spring and fall. The plateaus handle the change of weather around here very ferociously. It's a nice spacious living room. I bet you it looked pretty cool back in the day. I noticed the 70s colors in the living room and the kitchen. That helps me get an indication of the time that this house was built, or possibly even remodeled once before it was left behind. Cool old stove. This definitely was a unique house in its own right. I wonder what it looked like when it was first built on the outside. More private property signs. Yes, I will say this again, I don't recommend anybody else out there that sees what I'm doing to come out here and try to copy it, because these places really do need to be left alone as much as possible. As hypocritical as that is for me to say. So cool that the bushes are overtaking the house. Well, that's it for Respect House. I hope you enjoy the rest of the videos and the pictures. Thank you.